Hey, good morning, good day, good afternoon, and good evening, whomever you are, wherever you are, and whenever you are. Welcome back to Birch Bay, everyone. I'm your host, City Sculptor, and you're looking in on Sturgeon Square. Sturgeon Square was the focus of our last episode, episode 3. If you haven't had a chance to check that one out, I encourage you to do so. Now, Sturgeon Square is this evolution district, meaning it started old world, as you can see some of these bricky assets here, the industrial evolution content, right? And it meets new world, which is endemic of this Green Cities DLC. So you see an old area, maybe it's an old cannery, old warehouse district that's being really renovated, and the evolution is underway. And there's no part of town that's more symbolic of that as there is in Sturgeon Square. The square itself right here is, I don't know, maybe it's a collaborative farm. Maybe it's just a pick your own produce area. But we've got some nice, neat little rows running through it with some little stalls and warehouse storage on the corners. And it really kind of sets the tone for the area. Just outside of the square, we got something unique going on here with this. Look at this old brick warehouse. And I kind of envision that brick warehouse servicing maybe this organic cafe down here. It looks a little funny with Big Bite burgers and fries on your organic cafe, but maybe they're Impossible burgers. Maybe that's it. And then you've got this produce stand set up over here that's got some fresh, fruit and vegetables, and of course you've got healthy weeds. And then as you jump across over to the other side of the square, you've got some wall-to-wall building, wall-to-wall office buildings framing it up. And that's kind of neat. It's got that infusion of new. Maybe this is a collaborative workspace. Maybe this is a budding tech company. I don't know. Maybe this is some guy filming YouTube videos. I don't know. You don't know, right? But you've got some warehouses and some boxes. And of course, you've got your big fish market in the center of it. So again, that was the subject of episode 3. Go back and take a look and tell us what you think. For today's episode, we're going to cross Chestnut Boulevard, and we're going to head over to our Stadium District. In our Stadium District, we've got a beautiful basketball arena. We've got this gorgeous plaza down the middle of it. And, of course, you've got your iconic football stadium. In the football stadium, you've got this rock formation in the background. And if you look just right, you can see downtown. That was a fun build, quite some time ago now. But you're also sitting on a major tram line. You've got a train line. You can see a bus avenue coming through. So you got the multimodal transportation hub that's really servicing this whole area. And I'm really happy with the infrastructure that we put in place. But I'll tell you, I'm not really happy with what's going on over here. It's just it needs some definition. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm really excited about this episode. We're gonna take this grid and we're gonna reorient it so that it flows more into this highway space here. I'm gonna take this arterial road down here and I'm gonna bend that in and have it kind of connect with this couplet over here. And I'm gonna break this connection with the Chestnut down here. We're gonna put some bigger buildings along the freeway, maybe put some residential down the middle, and ultimately get us ready for one of our future episodes, which will be our cargo harbor down across Chestnut, just south of Sturgeon Square. I think I'll drop in some fire assets down here too, maybe a couple of fire helicopter depots, a big fire station, because we're lacking fire services in this part of town. And with all the industry and factories and really kind of this high density type of an area, I think we're going to need those. So anyhow, that's the subject for today's build. I want you to just sit back, relax, enjoy. Let's get started. All right, before we dive in, we're going to have to pause the game because we're going to get kind of disruptive in this space. We're going to first break this connection with Chestnut Boulevard, and I'm going to take down all of this grid that runs probably to about there. In fact, well, you know what? I'll keep it around the arena for now. For now. Don't get too comfortable, though. All right. And then let's go down here to our couplet road. And I want to take and put in somewhere around there. Use that as my guideline. And I'm going to take and upgrade that now to our, I don't know, larger collector road, and have that run up to intersect here with our existing road. Then I'm going to cut each of those back. You know, maybe something along that line and along this line. Just cut them back so we can blend them in with a nice little curve in there. And that curve will just kind of soften the space a little bit, give us a little bit better definition. What we can do next is I want to come out here about 360 or so, 360. Let's do that. I'm going to drop a road straight down here. And the intent here is to just, I don't know, build a little bigger road and grab one of our fire helicopter depots. We're going to throw that right into that space. It's going to fit. Oh, yeah, it fits. It fits. Perfect. And then we're going to take a high-capacity fire station, and we're going to set that into this space right up adjacent to Chestnut. Then I want to come back in here and drop down, say, another utility road right from this node. We'll bring that, what is this, Industry Road? Yeah, Industry Road. And we're going to drop that down. I'm going to grab another helicopter depot and stash that right in that little nook there. And so now we've got a rather large fire depot, if you will, that is going to sit right up against Chestnut. In fact, what I'll do is I'll come back in here and I will downgrade that road. So that gives us a little bit of space for maybe some detailing up around the fronts of those. We've got, we'll go in here and turn off the stoplights because we don't want all of those firing up. And yeah, so now we've got the fire station here that's going to serve this whole stadium district plus Sturgeon Square, and then on down to our harbor. So it's starting to take shape. Now the next thing we want to do is, I think we've got our campus. Yeah, we drew that in there. We drew in some additional campus room here. I'm actually going to extend that across there too. We're getting education for the masses, right? But what I've been doing is I've been taking that campus district and extending it all throughout the city, just to bring the university level education around. Now I'm going to grab the School of Tourism and Travel. Let's just see if that guy, does he sneak in there? Can he fit? Can he fit into this spot? He sure can. He sure can. And I think that, well, let's see, is that the way I want that oriented? Let's think that through. If I turn that around, then I could probably put a parking area kind of on the access side, and you've got these big buildings right off the highway. Yeah, that'll look cool. So, yeah, as you're zipping by on the freeway, you've got this kind of this school of, what is it? Tourism and travel. That seems pretty neat. Okay, so you've got that going there. And then we'll come in with a road that runs along the side of it here, and we can give access up along the front. I'll drop some parking in and across the street because you gotta have access to it. Yeah, that's probably a good spot. The next thing I want to do is grab, what's it called? The Police Academy. Yeah, the Police Academy. Oh, let's hope that fits in there. That's going to be really a snug fit, isn't it? I think it's going to work, though. I think it is. Look at this. Ooh, if I drop that in right up along that freeway exit ramp. Right. Let's just put it right there. What do you think? And then we're going to take that same road and continue that along. Now you're talking. Now you've got these big, I don't know, important looking buildings right along the freeway. Yeah, that's going to be good. And I think what's going to happen there is, since you've got these big buildings, they're going to act as kind of a sound barrier between the freeway and the rest of the district. Although you've got a busy train line running through the middle of it, so maybe that's going to be a little noisy too. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. And then that'll allow me to reconnect my my arena road down into here, perhaps. So we'll have multiple access points. And then I can relocate this gym out of there as well. And maybe build a little bit more in the way of parks, plazas around the basketball arena too. So it becomes a little bit more inviting, kind of like the football stadium has over here. Okay, so that gets us a good start here. We pulled that gym out of there, slid that down into this little notch down here by the freeway exit ramp, and you've got your train tracks running through now. I just tidied up that curve running through here by our arena, and now we're ready to start gridding out our residential and some of our commercial. So let's do that. Let's grab this. I'm going to run him up. Let's go up 12. We're going to run out this distance. That was at 960. Come back down and in. And then we're going to run out. Let's see here. We're going to run out another 12 spaces, $480, 580. I don't know, is it simoleons? I don't know what they call these things. And we're just going to repeat that again one more time. Go up 12, go across, and come back down. So we'll have a nice little gridded out pattern here. We're going to upgrade those roads so that they don't come into conflict with our build out roads. And we'll put shops down along here and along here. We're going to extend this guy. Let's go back and extend into here. Yeah, let's maybe make that 12 as well. And then we'll come up 12 and we'll come back in. And that'll allow for a little bit of buffer between the busy couplet and some of our residential down here in the middle of the core. That's going to be important. That's going to be important. And then what we could do is I think we can tie this grid structure in. I don't want to go in that far. Let's go on. That's going to have to come out maybe about 200 just to make it look right. And that'll connect in there. Nice and neat. Nice and neat. So that'll give the people that are in this area here a nice access through to our arena area. Okay. All right. So in this space, we've already got designated in the stadium district, to make sure that we've got this all painted out properly. Yes. Okay. In our stadium district, we're going to run this all the way up to here to our couplet, come across and down into here. We've already got the shopping malls, DLC. I guess it's a theme active. And then we've got the wall-to-wall housing, residential, and we've got wall-to-wall office in this space. So what I can do is bring in some wall-to-wall office that's going to sit along these railroad tracks here, and then I'll bring in some shopping malls down along this section down here. In fact, I could even come in here and create almost like a little carve out for a little shopping district right in that space. I think I'll do that. Let's kind of feed off of this here, and it'll be smaller shops with the back up against this main collector road here. So we're going to come out, we're going to come out here up until it intersects with that. We're going to come out here. And it's just going to be a little tiny shopping area nestled in here, nice and neat, with some maybe some little boutique shops. Yeah. We'll come up here. We're not going to have it touch, but we'll connect up to there as well. And then I'll come back in the detailing and in detailing time now lapse and update the roads so that we're not in conflict with respect to building squares, etc. Okay. All right. So that really kind of gives us a little, a nice little framework, if you will, in this space. I think we've got a good layout here. And what I'll do is I'll jump into a detailing time lapse, and I think this should go pretty quickly. So again, sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll see you after the time lapse. Okay, welcome back. Wow, that was quite a transformation. We did a lot in this space, and I'm excited to walk you through it. As you may recall, we talked about early on that there was a need for more fire safety in this part of town, and I think we've definitely done that. We dropped in not one, but 2 helicopter depots in this space. And it was actually kind of fun as I was doing my building. There were helicopters launching left and right. Imagine that that this is going to be a very high traffic area. And then, of course, we've got this big fire department asset, located right in the middle of the 2. So it's going to stand out. And if you zoom in real close, we even used our amusement park fence, the red fence, just to set it off, and along with some fire trees along that boulevard as well. So anybody who's traveling up and down Chestnut Boulevard is going to know that's where the fire services are. There's no mistaking it. Okay, so let's jump in and take a look at the residential. Now, the residential in this street was pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's kind of in a nice grid pattern, but we did weave a few little sidewalks in here, kind of in the backyards or back alleys, if you will, that weave and kind of curve their way through just to soften it up a touch when you're down there at pedestrian level. And then when you reach a street, I used our little vanilla road trick to break up the street and put in a couple of crosswalks. So you've got a lot of walkability in this residential space. And then we dropped in our school assets from the Africa DLC and the content creator pack, sorry. And we've got our elementary school and our high school. I think they add a cool vibe to the area. All right, so let's jump across the high-speed rail tracks, if you will, to this little nook down here where we've stashed our gym. The gym, as you recall, was right by our arena before, and I think this is a better spot for it, really. You know, gyms typically, they're themselves fairly loud, and you've got a freeway exit that's right here along with a train track. So it's probably a good use of the space. I would imagine they got a heck of a deal on the real estate being in this this very noisy little corner down here. And then you move forward to the Police Academy, which I think is such a cool looking asset. I mean, that's a really neat building with all the, it looks like it's got some wood paneling down here on the side, these big HVAC units on the top. I mean, this is really cool. And there's a skyway that connects between these 2 buildings, and that's really nice. So if it's bad weather outside, you can go from building to building without getting wet. And it's a long but not too deep asset. So fitting it between the railroad tracks and the freeway was just the perfect location for that. I really like that one. Moving right along, we've got I guess it's the Travel and Hospitality School. I think that's what that's called. We'll look it up later. But it's again, it's a really cool asset. It's got another skyway there, just like the Police Academy does. So if you have bad weather, you can go from building to building without getting cold or wet or too hot even, I suppose. but some really beautiful facings on that. We added a lot of parking in this area too, because one, you've got stadiums nearby, and two, you've got, I would imagine, a lot of students that are going to be wanting to have a good place to to park and as they get to their respective academies that they're working out of. So that's pretty neat. We touched earlier on the transit hub. I'm glad we've got this. I'm glad we built this in, because the trains, the trolleys, the trams, the buses, all of these different public transportation options are really, really great, especially with these two stadiums in here. You've got a lot of people coming and going on game day, and it doesn't get too crazy. I mean, you can see some traffic building up here, but it doesn't get too crazy because of all that public transportation. And, the next thing I want to talk about real quick, is this basketball arena. We maintained a similar road to what had existed previously, but wait till you see what we did here in this basketball arena. So I added a couple of statues down the corner. Maybe those are the mascots or the emblem of the team, and we did that on the back side of the building as well. A couple of statues and even a cannon. So I guess if the home team scores a touchdown, well, they can fire off the cannon. All right. And then this big fan zone plaza is really exciting, because you've got just a ton of space here with food vendors and beverage vendors and a lot of seating and tables, some ice cream and some food trucks. You got food trucks all over the place here. And this is the perfect place, the ideal hangout for before and after the game, when you really want to spend time with your buddies and get excited, get all fired up before the game, and then if you want to just unwind after the big game, this is a great area to do that in. We even have a balloon cart in there. Look at that. We even dropped one of those in from the amusement park package. So just adding more food stalls over here with some more beverage carts and so forth. Some tiled seating, a little fountain. You see lots of tables wrapping around all of that. And just, again, plenty of seating, plenty of space to hang out, get fired up for the big game, and then relax and unwind after the game. So there you have it. There you have it. That should be a real high-energy area, I would think. And I'm pretty sure the residents of Birch Bay are going to be pretty excited about it. Well, I'll tell you what. I had a lot of fun. Tell me what you think of this build. Did you like it? Is there something you would have done differently? I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. But other than that, I think that kind of wraps up this episode for today. I really hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. And with that, I'm going to bid you farewell for now. I hope to see you guys again real soon. So until then, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We'll catch you soon.